All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, the results of the 2022 Toronto Pro Super Show. In men's open bodybuilding, nothing surprising really. The results were pretty much exactly what I expected them to be, pretty much exactly what I said they would be at that prejudging video that we did earlier. So we've got the scorecard for you guys right here. Shout out to Richie, who was the MC of this show, by the way. So in first place, you had Mohamed Shaban. In second place, you had Theo Laguerrier. In third place, you had Andrea Musi. In fourth place, you had Dorian Haywood. And in fifth place, you had Slavaj Bednar. So, like I said, not much of a surprise here. Mohamed really pushed Charles Griffen at that Cali Pro last week. I think it was a really close decision. He was second to him, obviously. He looked really good here. I mean, I think he looked tighter than he looked in California. I think his conditioning looked better. He carries a lot of muscle. He carries a lot of size, and he really looks impressive when he shows it off with this kind of conditioning like he brought here and like he brought in California. But in California, Charles was just tighter, and he got the edge over him with that conditioning. But here, not only do I think Mohamed was really, he looked to be the most muscular guy in this lineup, I really think his conditioning was the best in this lineup as well. And that's not to knock the other guys in this lineup, but I don't think this lineup was as strong as the Cali Pro, the New York Pro, or the Indy Pro. I think this was probably the least competitive of all the shows that we've seen over the past month or so. And that being said, I think Mohamed took a pretty easy win here, but I do think that Theo Laguerrier was very impressive. I think he's a guy that's got a very bright future. He's very young. He's in his early 20s. I think he impressed a lot of people at the past several shows that he's done, but this show in particular, I think he really looked good. And I think second place is really pretty big for him here. So those are the results for the Toronto Pro Super Show. And a big congratulations to Mohamed Shaban on the win. Now, next up in the news, Julius Maddox attempted an over 800 pounds bench press in a meet recently. 804.8 pounds. And I think this is a similar story to what we typically see with Julius on these bigger numbers. Is he's really fast off the chest. It's the lockout that Julius seems to struggle with. The latter portion of the lift is really where he seems to have an issue. And it makes you wonder, seeing this lift, is he ever going to get the 800-pound bench? It's been a couple years now since that first attempt that ended up being botched because they misloaded the bar at that meet that he did where he attempted the 800 pounds initially. He's been working for this number for a very long time, and granted, this is over 800 pounds, almost 5 pounds over, and when you're talking about weight that heavy, every pound over the amount is significant. But I still do believe, even after watching this, that if anybody is going to be the first person to bench 800 pounds raw, I still think it's going to be Julius. I think he is going to get it, but it does make you wonder, when is that going to be? If it's been 2 years since that first attempt, and a lot of people say he probably would have got 800 had they loaded the bar correctly at that meet. He probably would have gotten it there, but 2 years, and we still haven't seen it. And his caption on that post was 804.8 pounds. This is a tough one. I'm struggling internally. Recap this week. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been following Julius's journey to, the road to 800 pounds. Do you guys think he will get it? Do you think he'll be the first man to bench 800 pounds raw? Or do you think it's never going to happen? I'm very curious to hear what you guys think in the comment section below after watching this failed attempt at 804.8 pounds. Now, next up in the news, a little bit of a trigger warning for you guys here. If you guys are squeamish, don't look at this next story. Calum Von Moger showing off on his Instagram some pictures of the injuries that he sustained during the incident where he allegedly jumped from a second-story window, and he was apparently in a coma for a while. So he showed off the injuries and I guess the healing process of some of them, because some of them look stitched up and pretty significantly healed. But it looks like there was quite a bit of damage in these injuries. I mean, it looks like a lot of parts of his body were affected by this fall, or this jump rather. And really all I can say, and he says in this post, thank you for the well wishes and prayers. All I can say is I hope that he gets better. He's clearly going through a very difficult time in his life. We don't know for sure what it is, but whether it's drugs, whether it's mental illness, whether it's alcohol, whatever it might be, I hope that he's able to get through this, because you can definitely tell that he's going through it right now. Obviously, a lot of things have happened to Calum over the course of his career. He's had a lot of pretty devastating, you could even say career-ending injuries that were accidental, and supposedly he intentionally jumped and sustained these injuries. But look, this is clearly a guy that's going through a lot, and I've seen a lot of comments that are like kind of celebrating his downfall or making fun of his downfall or even encouraging it. And really all I can say is that I hope he gets better, and I hope that he gets the help that he needs, because clearly mentally he's going through some sort of downward spiral, and I think the last thing he needs is a bunch of people on the internet encouraging and celebrating what's happening to him. We don't want to see this happen to anybody, whether you like him or hate him. It sucks to see someone go through this, so definitely thinking of Calum, and I hope that he ends up getting better. Now, next up in the news, according to a story post from Jason Poston, who is also on the same team as Thor, being Rain, Thor has already signed, or was signing at the time of this story, the contract for his next fight. So we already know that Thor doesn't want to fight Eddie next. He doesn't want the rematch to be his next fight. He wants a fight or some fights to be in between his next fight with Eddie Hall, and then I guess hopefully have better promotion for the next Eddie Hall fight. So a lot of people sent this to me speculating, who's he going to fight? Who's it going to be? Well, I don't think it's going to be Eddie. I really don't. I think there's still a lot of details that they need to iron out with the Eddie Hall fight. I think it's going to be Martin Ford. I think that is the most likely opponent. We know that Martin Ford was unable to fight the Iranian Hulk. I think that was April, that fight was originally scheduled for. That didn't happen. So my guess is we're going to see Thor versus Martin Ford at some point in 2022. But maybe not. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Who do you guys think will be Thor's next opponent? Do you think it'll be Martin Ford? Do you think it might be Eddie Hall? Do you think it might be someone else? Logan Paul, KSI? Who do you think it is? Thor versus who? Now, the final story that I've got for you guys today, I came across this clip. This was like a behind-the-scenes clip from last week's Cali Pro. Charles Griffen speaking on his loss to Blessing Awodabu at the Indy Pro. So I thought this was interesting because Blessing does call out a lot of guys. He talks a lot of trash. He makes it fun. He has these rivalries. But it looks like there's a Charles versus Blessing rivalry. Charles clearly says here he didn't lose that show, and Blessing didn't win that show. Charles believes that he won the Indy Pro, and I think that was a very, very close decision. Again, the scorecards didn't necessarily reflect it being crazy close. It was unanimous votes for first and second. But I thought visually that show could have gone either way. It was a very apples and oranges comparison. Two very different physiques. I think Charles really pushed Blessing. I think Blessing really pushed Charles. And I don't think anybody would have been upset had that show gone either way. If Charles had won, I don't think anybody would disagree with that decision. But let me go ahead and roll that clip for you guys right here.
So, besides that, now you're going directly to the Mr. Olympia. You're going to have a rematch with Blessing Awodipo, a.k.a. the Boogeyman. You said, I felt like I won that show. Is that a call for a rematch at the Olympia between you and Blessing?
I'm about to eat Blessing up. I'm going to eat Blessing up. Blessing did not beat me at Indy, so I'm going to eat Blessing up. Blessing, I'm eating him up. The Boogeyman's going to get ate up by the definition. That's what's going to happen.
So that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Make sure you leave a thumbs up on this video. You got 2 videos today, so I know you like that. So like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet already. As always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.